I've never actually heard anyone say, man, I really want to do business with a large company. Of course, you and I do. We use Amazon. We shop all over the place. Big companies can get, competitive pricing at fast deliveries and all sorts of things. But when it comes down to a service-based business, I've never heard a customer or anybody in my life actually say, man, there's just something special about a large company that I want to work with them. And it just brings joy to them. To the opposite of that, I've only heard people say, oh man, I want to do business with a small local business. I want to work with the small guy, the underdog, the startup, whatever that is. There's an excitement to that. I think there's several reasons why someone would specifically want to work with a small local business owner in their service-based business. And in dumpster rental businesses, there's many of them sparking up all over the place, myself included, 3 or so years ago, starting it up, and just have some thoughts to share with you of why people want to work with small local businesses. Let's go ahead and get right into it. I think one of the biggest reasons that maybe is kind of an unspoken truth about this whole thing is that they want to work with you. Ultimately, maybe they've had bad experiences with larger companies, or they're just trying to start, using somebody else new, giving somebody else the chance, and you're a small local business, so you haven't had as many people try you out. So they're gonna do that. But I think bigger than that, something maybe an aerial view looking down at everything, is that working with a small local business does multiple things, including maybe the biggest thing, it creates or facilitates the competition that really requires everybody to stay on their A game, for standards to stay where they're at, to maybe raise them. The competition between large companies, small companies. Large companies got there from hopefully, quality practices and good ethics and all these things, to where they have that great reputation, that brand of excellent service, whatever that may be. However, for a small local business to start up, we have maybe the most incentive to do the best quality work possible, to be innovative, to just find where we can carve out maybe part of the piece of the pie of the marketplace. But with this, in every category, seemingly, it raises the standard. It maintains it. That competition between small and large, or even medium, that keeps everybody awake, not sleeping on autopilot. So along with the competition and the standards, I do think that there's a high expectation that you do care more. That with maintaining or raising standards and learning and growing, that a small startup business, a small local business, is going to have the incentive, because this is your whole piece of the pie. Even though it may be a drop in the bucket compared to a larger company, there's more fire behind it. We have to care more. We have to be more intentional. We have to execute. Our efficiencies have to be just on point. We can't be just throwing money here, spending money there, letting things go here, just letting things just fall by the wayside, and our customers pay the price, or they're dealt with the aftermath of working with you. It was maybe a nightmare. Like, we have to be efficient. We have to be effective. We have to care. And that's a crazy thing to have to say, but there's many people who don't care, who are small, medium, large. They've already hung up their hat. They're done. They don't care. What they're doing is working well enough. The pain of changing is more than the pain of maintaining it, so it's comfortable. If you're a small local business, there's an expectation that you do care more, because you maybe have to make this work, to build something bigger. to make this happen. So there's expectations for you to care. Next, an overall better customer service experience. This is kind of in multiple areas, but whether that's just being more personable on the phone, maybe there's a more in-person conversations. I've heard horror stories of guys at large companies, national companies, who they look like they rolled out of a ditch. They show up, they're grunting. They don't say much at all. They don't put the dumpster in the right space. They don't accommodate the customer and talk through their project with them. I mean, they don't care, but the overall service and working through the project with the customer and those things, it's just not even there. And a small local business, whether it's you driving still, that's what I'm doing. Maybe you have one or two drivers or something. They're a lot closer to the person in charge, you probably, and they have more an incentive to be customer oriented, to give that quality service. Listen, if we don't take care of our customers, we're all out of a job, or I'm out of a job. The business is done. We have to care. We have to provide that top quality service that sets the customer at ease, that makes them feel as if we are going through this project with them, not just blowing smoke, but actually thinking through, okay, you have this going on, you have that going on. What does this look like for weight? Where do you need this dumpster positioned? With the door opening up that way, is that going to clear this? It's those intentional thoughts we've got to be able to execute. And they expect that from a small company because we have to, but also we're closer to the situation. We're closer to the fire. We're a mile away. You're not going to feel the heat from a campfire. It's just not going to happen. We're right there, man. So there's that expectation of that quality service. Along with that, the flexibility. There's maybe less red tape to maybe set a can this way or that way, or have it picked up the night of, or the day before, dropped off, whatever that may look like. We if we're willing, which I think we should be, we can be more flexible than larger companies. This is not an 8 to 5, 9 to 5. This is a start at 5:45, get off 7, 8, 9. Who knows what could happen on any day? We've got to be able to put in the hours, put in the work, and accommodate our customers, having some of that flexibility. And in certain areas, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying do illegal things. Flexibility with if you have to have parking permits for dumpsters or this or that on city streets, whatever that may be. I'm not saying cut corners where large companies know better, but I'm saying where you can be flexible and it doesn't cost you and you're not being thrown under the bus or messing over your drivers if you have some drivers. Being that flexible company that can work and accommodate somebody's project, that means something. And there's that expectation, I believe, smaller companies can, and at least are more willing to. And so that's why they want to give you their business, give you their money. That flexibility is a huge thing. Another reason why I think they want to work with a small business owner like yourself is because their pain points are directly communicated to you, probably, or your driver. Hey, the customer says blah, blah, blah happened, and they were wondering if this can happen, and basically this is their problem. When you hear a continued pattern of, a majority of your customers saying, hey, this is a problem for me. Is it possible if we do this? Can you set it in the driveway, but keep it over here because I want to make sure I have enough room for parking here, or whatever that may be. A lot of these are basic customer service, in my opinion, things we should already be doing, but for you to directly hear the pain points of your customers, again, they might not be able to put words to these thoughts here, but I believe they do have an expectation that you care enough that when they do have problems and they're like, hey man, this is an issue for me in my project? Can we do this? Can we do that? It's not just the flexibility, but at scale to where you're able to adapt your whole business. Your business is built for the customer, not for you. This isn't about you. This is not about me. How can I be the best helper? That's the why I named my business what it is, Helper Dumpster Rentals. How can I be the best helper for you in your project? I'm coming alongside you. We're in this together. How can I best serve you in this project to where I'm making your life only easier, not more difficult? I'm taking problems out of the equation, not putting them into it. When you're closer to the customers, across the board, you're going to hear more pain points. You're going to see more problems. You're going to be able to solve more problems, hopefully provide additional services, different things we can do for our customers. A small local business that's in the community, that's only growing and trying to establish itself. I believe that they believe that you care enough to make those implementations to your business. They believe you care, or they're hoping you care more than the larger company that's maybe so disconnected from their customer, from their audience. They already know, or they assume that they don't care. And last but not least, a reason why I believe they do want to work with you as a small business owner is that there's a personal aspect to this whole thing. Being able to put a name with a face with a name, knowing that you live there, that you're not going anywhere. It's not just another chain starting up in the local area and they're just gathering random people around and plugging and playing people into it. Whether that's like a nostalgic type of thought of, how things used to be. You could used to maybe walk into your bank or walk into maybe the deli or different places and they're like, "Oh, hey, Bob. Hey, Samantha, whatever." And you know each other. You know each other because you built a relationship. As fast as the world is going, this is nothing new. I'm not rewriting, how things are in life. This is just how it is. There are some people who are operating in their life slow enough, not at hypersonic speed, to want to build a relationship with somebody. A working, productive, helpful relationship that their needs are being met, that you're providing that service, they're supporting you, you're supporting them. Everything gels together. Everything connects together. People who want to have that personal relationship with you. A smaller business, there's at least more of a chance that your listening ears are turned on enough to where when they want to connect with you, talk about personal stuff, things going on, obviously you're not their therapist, but in their project, what's their why? Why are they trying to do this? Oh, well, all this clutter just makes me nervous. It stresses me out. We have some family gatherings coming together. We have these projects. We're hosting this big party, blah, 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 blah. For you to slow down enough. Okay, so what's the project? What are we doing? What's your time frame? Why are we doing this? Maybe you don't have to ask that, direct question, but for those people who do want to connect with you on that personal level, there's more of a chance that you're going to be the guy to slow down enough to actually ask some questions, listen, and care. People still want to build relationships. They may find it easier to press some buttons on Amazon to order this or that, or go through the drive-through and not sit down at the, family diner, whatever, kind of old school things that used to be more commonplace. But this is still a thing. And I think the human aspect of this will always be a thing. As long as there's people who aren't completely stuck to their phone, who aren't running a million miles an hour, there's going to be people who want to connect with you, to build a relationship with you. There's a number of people who actually have called and said, "Oh, hey, how's business going? I hope the best for you. I think I'll have a project this next spring. I'll call you, but just wanted to check in." And I've been able to build some friendships from that. Customers, this is not commonplace, but caring about me because I cared about them. And I'm invested in their projects, not just the dollar bill. That's, of course, this is not a charity. However, this personal aspect is a huge thing as well. People want to give their business to somebody who they believe is invested in them. The chances of a large company at scale being invested in their project, they already believe there's not even a chance. There's at least a chance with working with a small business owner who has the attention to give to customers, to be connected. For these reasons and many more, I believe people want to give their business to you as a small local business. They want to literally give you money. If you think through these thoughts here and you implement them into your business, I'm sure you already do care. You've got to care for the well-being of your family. You've got to care. And there's a special thing about this in this journey of starting something from maybe nothing and building forward and learning and growing. People do want to give us business, and if we're not intentional in these areas and thinking through these things, and for us to slow down enough, let me know if you have ever heard somebody say, "Yeah, I really want to work with this big company." That sounds like a great idea. I have only heard people say, "I want to work with a small local business." That's an exciting thing. It's a positive connotation. And I believe this is something that we can capitalize on. We can build our business off of these things. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Hopefully you have a great day today, guys. Stay safe and God bless.